I have made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I do not expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. What we saw in the Dragon Ball Super previews that day was obviously unplanned. The reactions you saw on tape were raw, they were unfiltered. None of us knew how to react or feel that day. I should have never posted the video. I should have put the cameras down and stopped recording what we were going through. There's a lot of things I should have done differently, but I didn't. And from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry.
Psych, you thought?
By the way, that was directed at everyone that attacked my last video when I was talking about why it's possible Vegeta could be stronger than Goku base to base, and they like freaked out on my video because of spoilers that came out that didn't even contradict anything in the video at all. And of course, you know, they all had Goku obvious, you know, they all had Goku AVIs, and they clearly never watched my video on why Vegeta was stronger than Goku base to base. They never even listened to my theory. And they also seem to have missed the fact that I never claimed that video was like an actual fact. It was actually a theory. Like, I never even made a claim. I made a theory as to what the preview showed was true, then this could be a reasoning as to why. Not, this theory is true, here's the reasoning why. You need to be very particular with the wording here. I mean, because people were jumping to conclusions and attacking me, as they always do. And not only were they wrong about attacking me for no reason, they were also wrong due to things that actually happened in the episode. Because the spoilers misconstrued what actually happened in the episode. So, let's go into detail what happened in Dragon Ball Super episode 122. So, the episode starts off with a standoff. Now, this is kind of like an irrelevant thing to kind of comment on about the episode. But, like, me and my Discord were watching it together, and for some reason, Vegeta's gloves were just flapping in the wind, like the whole little standoff. And I don't know, I just had the perception that these gloves were like, you know, latexy, you know, they're like tight on his wrist. I didn't think they had like that flappy vibe. You know, that's a very weird thing to comment on. But I just felt the need to touch on my discomfort with the scene, alright? Alright, so let's continue. Grand Priest, then Shibaku Tensei's, like, the rings together. Vados is nervous about, like, the other angel. I actually had a theory with one of my friends, and we're actually thinking that the angels kind of want Universe 7 to win, because in that case, they might wish all the other universes back, or something of the sort, and the angels kind of get that vibe. That's just headcanon, though. I'm not trying to assume anything. Goku then squares up to Jiren, and he goes Super Saiyan Blue pretty casually. Some people were theorizing that he was heavily fatigued after Kefla, although clearly he's not that fatigued at all if he's just going into Super Saiyan Blue. He's not nearly as fatigued as he was when Frieza even gave him energy. When Frieza gave Goku energy, he had less energy than he does now. Goku then powered up. And this power-up, like this sparking power-up and this long enduring power-up, was actually to cause an explosion. And that's the stunt that Vegeta then states. He did not go Super Saiyan 2 in this episode. A lot of people are like, you know, his hairstyle kind of matches Super Saiyan 2. But if you look at it, his hairstyle actually changes styles with artists. Like, so there's different artists for different shots. It seemed like it had poor art for some parts of it that weren't important. There's definitely like a drastic change of styles in animators. Clearly, there was a lot of scenes where Goku's hair was very fluffy, and then the next scene it would be very spiky. So no, it was not Super Saiyan 2. It was just bad drawing. Jiren and Goku discuss why they want to become stronger, whereas Goku just says, I don't know, right? He says, I don't know. And Jiren replies, I seek that which lies beyond strength. This is a bit of an over-literal translation. It could actually really just be translated to him meaning he seeks something that he can only obtain with strength. Goku even agrees that he wants to become stronger just like Jiren, despite Jiren's over-hyper-literal Crunchyroll translation implying he didn't care about strength. So, like, if you take the literal translation, he's like, I seek something beyond strength. And it's like, what? Why did Goku then say, yeah, I want to become stronger too then? And the real answer is, the translation is that he can only seek what he wants with strength. And then obviously suddenly Vegeta barges in, and in the background Dispo says, I'm the fastest in all the universes. Frieza and Dispo slap each other with some snappy one-liners, and then Vegeta begins barraging Jiren. And this is pretty interesting because Vegeta's hits don't even make Jiren move, really. He just backs up, and Jiren obviously doesn't flinch. Like, Vegeta can't even punch through his barrier. Vegeta then remarks he's never encountered an enemy with energy as strong as Jiren. literally meaning Jiren is confirmed stronger than evolved fusions of Masu, suppressed Beerus, and so on, and then he gets blown away. Obviously, this is important because it's more like securing evidence. Before, we kind of had like an idea like, oh, wow, I've never felt, you know, strength like this from any enemy before, said the Supreme Kai. But the Supreme Kai was kind of like a wonky character, who has very inconsistent statements, but Vegeta backing it up just confirms it. After getting blown away, Vegeta then watches Jiren attack Goku and then begins analyzing him. You'll notice this is a trend. He then later begins dodging Jiren's attacks and lands a critical hit on Jiren numerous times. And then what's really important here for me is that Vermod actually seems worried about Jiren. And then I'll get onto Vermod more later on, but Vermod might be high-key fodder. Vegeta then claims Jiren isn't as strong as he was when he fought Goku. This is more than likely referring to Ultra Instinct Goku. After calling Jiren out on this, Jiren steps it up and then blasts Vegeta away, with Vermod still nervous about whether or not Vegeta is defeated. Now, this is kind of important because it kind of shows that Vegeta is showing skills capable enough to put a worry on Vermod's face. So Vermod acknowledges that Jiren is more powerful than himself. This is why the Super Spirit Bomb is more than likely God of Destruction tier. And this is why Vegeta himself might be stronger than Vermod. Now, I'm not going to jump to too many conclusions. I mean, it's just Vermod getting worried. I mean, it might just be to hype up that Vegeta's doing good versus Jiren. But I do want to kind of create a discussion on the God of Destruction hierarchy later on. Android 17 and Gohan aren't doing too badly against Topo, which is pretty interesting because obviously Topo was capable of pushing Goku to use Kaioken, and Vegeta obviously needed to try somewhat against Topo. So this does confirm that 17 and Gohan are like the Super Saiyan Blue tiers like everyone thought they actually were. This is also pretty important to the dialogue of the whole how hard is Jiren trying thing. And Whis is confident the power Jiren was outputting and hurting Vegeta with was enough to ignite him. Now, ignite is obviously like Ultra Instinct Ignite, like what happened to Goku twice. This is similar to what happened when we stated that K-Fla was rivaling the Spirit Bomb. So fighting Spirit Bomb-ish levels of power are what really ignite Ultra Instinct, at least in Whis' perception. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm just saying from Whis' perception, Spirit Bomb levels are what generally push you to that level. Of course, then after that, we have this whole Vegeta gets up, and he's not Ultra Instinct at all, which might actually mean something to say about his durability. Jiren starts preaching about how pure he is in comparison, and then Vegeta then retorts arrogance is precisely what his pride as a Saiyan is, and obviously that's raw. Vegeta then states he doesn't even want Ultra Instinct. He wants to surpass Jiren in his own way, which is very reminiscent of what happened with him obtaining God forms, because obviously Goku absorbed and did the God ritual, whereas Vegeta obtained Super Saiyan Blue in his own fashion. He did it on his own terms. So I could very well see this being the case with his own state or his own path and his Ultra Instinct states. So I brought this up in the other Vegeta video where I kind of just gave a brief overview of who Vegeta is as a character and a rival. And I stated in that video that characters having two different abilities or powers if they're rivals is far more entertaining than if they have the same exact powers. Like when you look at Naruto and Sasuke, right? They have two different power sets that complement each other in a fight. It creates an interesting dynamic when they fight together. Whereas Goku and Vegeta, when they fight together, it's more like, hey, we can combine attacks here and there. We can attack them at the same time. There's no real actual strategy dynamic that a lot of other series have. So yes, splitting up the powers and differences in abilities really does add entertainment in my opinion. So Vegeta then powers up the Final Flash like he did versus Cell. He even states, you know, don't dodge this if you're really all that, like you're saying. And then once again, this power has Vermod shook again, just like the Spirit Bomb. As everyone states, Vegeta's power is just skyrocketing exponentially. And this is very interesting because this is the same Jiren who we stated was exerting enough power to ignite Vegeta to go Ultra Instinct. So whether this means that Jiren is using enough power like he was versus Goku, like in their first fight, that got Goku to go Ultra Instinct or what, is pretty unknown. But Jiren then actually resorts to blocking, in which Topo is also scared as well at this point, and the attack blows both Jiren and Goku in his blue state to the ground. whereas versus the Super Spirit Bomb, Jiren blinked it away. So Vegeta's energy is increasing exponentially, far beyond Kaioken times 20, at least in terms of feats. I mean, you could use your headcanon to assume, no, Jiren's still holding back, but there's no evidence for that. Whis is already pointing that he's using enough evidence to ignite him, and even Toppo is scared, even though this guy is the one that blinked away the Spirit Bomb. So yes, Vegeta more than likely is more powerful than the Spirit Bomb with the Final Flash and his weird kind of Zenkai-ish amps. And this should also be noted that even Vegeta was confident it was strong enough to hurt Jiren, despite Vegeta's character becoming more realistic and critical in Dragon Ball Super. It's not completely as blindsided and arrogant as before, which Jiren states the force of that wasn't even half bad, and then he basically Hakai's Vegeta. It looks as though Jiren purposely didn't knock Vegeta out of the ring when he easily could have. He kind of just leaves him in a crater to kind of like die. And it's kind of like he's intentionally doing it to see if Vegeta will evolve, because he could clearly launch Vegeta out of the ring whenever he wants. You might be able to call it plot, but I don't like slapping plot over everything. I like to think that some characters have motives, and clearly one of Jiren's motives is to fight stronger opponents, to seek that which lies beyond strength. So he might be intentionally trying to ignite Vegeta to evolve. And of course, this little theory is backed up by Vegeta getting up in the next episode with an enhanced form beyond Super Saiyan Blue. Now, I kind of want to explain what this form and why it appeared is. So from this point in the video, this is going to be a little bit more of a theory, because unlike some YouTubers, I don't want to drop 20 videos on the same character. The last time I did that with Kefla, all those videos were justified with Kefla, by the way. People were legitimately saying she was weaker than the Buu Saga, that she was trash, and that she didn't make sense, and that was power scaling's fault. Power scaling is broken. So yes, I had to make like 5 videos on Kefla, right? But I feel like Vegeta does not need a bunch of videos made on him, so I kind of just want to explain my thoughts on this real quick so I don't make another one. Basically, the theory is that Vegeta is equal to Goku when Goku is going all out, right? That's essentially what's going to be written in the script. But in the anime, Goku has Kaioken, and in the manga, they simply both have full-powered Super Saiyan Blue. So in the manga, they both have their like equivalent to their own Kaiokens per se, whereas in the anime, something like that definitely does not exist. So the anime would definitely have to extrapolate on like an ascended blue form. Now, this isn't to say that this is the pinnacle. There definitely might be a level beyond this blue form Vegeta's about to show versus Jiren. Now, this blue form is different. The aura doesn't just have little dots in it like Goku's. It has larger star shapes in it, so it is an ascended form. It is stated to be one. However, I think it's important to extrapolate that this would be like Vegeta's own full-powered Super Saiyan Blue from the manga. Now, that is my assumption. For all we know, this might be like his own Ultra Instinct and Goku's just backing him up. But I'm just saying that if Toriyama wrote in the script, Goku and Vegeta go all out and fight as equals versus Jiren, then Vegeta getting a massive power-up like Kaioken would make a lot of sense in terms of a writing stance for the anime. And it does make sense logically. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to explain, my thoughts on this. I wanted to explain what Jiren and Goku's dialogue meant. I wanted to explain what I thought of the new form. I wanted to explain some things I thought about, Vegeta's powers overall compared to the Spirit Bomb. And I also really want to hear you guys' opinion on Vermod. Do you think Vermod being shook means anything? Now, I thought when Vermod and Toppo were both scared that was a valid point. Or do you think Vermod just kind of gets scared shitless of everything that happens and he's like a poor judgment of character or a fight? Either way, I don't really care. Anyways, be sure to tune in next time where I drop 3 videos on single frames of the anime. I'll be sure to extend each video to 13 minutes long per frame. And as we know, Dragon Ball Super is 12 frames per second. So I'll be sure to drop 12 videos per second of the preview as it comes out. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Look out for those 12 videos per second. And till next time.
Hello everyone. It's West Dong, and I have a new theory, and today's sorry. I today I have a new theory on I can't do this, on why the king of Universe 6 I can't do it.